want to welcome you today to another episode here on RevStoration. Yeah, we're back. So I want to say thank you to all of you. If you saw the last video, you know that in our house we were dealing with COVID-19. We're both better. We've already gone through the quarantine period, no symptoms. So wife Nikki T's back at work. Of course, I'm here getting a little work done today. I wanted to show you a few things before we get into the first start. So yeah, we're gonna have a first start today. That old 65 Galaxie hadn't run in a long time. We're gonna see if we can get that old motor to crank today. I believe it's a 302. So we're going to do that in this video. Before we get into it though, I want to show you a little bit of the old man's property. So after the intro, I want to kind of show you a little bit about where I grew up and something the old man's working on. Then we'll get into that old car. Come on, let's hear it. Yeah, crank it up. And it's gonna be muffled a little bit. All right, y'all, this is where I grew up. My first steps was towards this river. This is the South River. Let's see if I can show it to you here. Yeah, there it is. This is my dad's boat dock. This is, let's see, that's Newton County over there. And this is Butts County over here, here in Georgia. But this is this beautiful place. Grew up, caught a few bass right over there. Caught a bunch of fish in this river. That's the old man's place there. And that's what we're going to talk about, what he's been working on there. I'll wait till he gets out and we'll share that with you. But before we do that, I want to take just a minute or two just to share with you some information. In the last video, we had someone that was really upset saying that I was putting the community, myself, and my family in danger because of the video. Let me let you in on something. Maybe you didn't catch it. Some of you, hopefully that you did notice it. That footage was old footage. To do that video, I left the home about 10 minutes. When I say I left the home, I'm talking about I went outside for about 10 minutes and just videoed that little bit inside the camper. That was footage that was almost 2 years old when I went through and restored the camper. Someone thought maybe I was going buying wood and paint and all of those things while I was dealing with COVID-19. Most certainly, I did not leave the house at all. We had food brought to us, our community took care of us. So just want to let you know, we weren't being crazy. We weren't being dangerous. We were trying to take care of ourselves, our family, and our community. So no, we didn't leave to do that footage. That was just some old footage that I had that I wanted to share with you, just to show you a little bit why we couldn't get out and do the things like we're going to do today. So I want to share with you what my dad's doing, and then we're going to go cranking old Ford. All right, I've told y'all, and y'all have already figured it out, the old man is like Superman. So I want to share with you what he's been doing in 2021. We've been sick, hadn't been able, I have, and our family has been sick, not been able to do much. So I hadn't helped. I'm talking about hadn't not moved one stick of dirt. I hadn't moved one cement block. I hadn't done anything. But all right, Daddy, you want to tell them what you're doing? There's the old man. Tell them, hey, Daddy.
This was a bank. Hello, how y'all again? This was a bank, of course. I dug into it, and I wanted one that's I just gonna go 4 foot high where I could just crawl under it. But no.
Now what is it? This I always see is blocked.
2-car garage.
Two-car garage. Come on now.
An underground bay where I can work underneath them, or I can take if I park one in the middle, I can take the planks out and I can work on the brakes right here. You know.
Oh, go on in and explain everything. All we see is block.
I know. So these are
all right, y'all. So we're walking in here. This is just a concrete.
This will be a double door right here.
Double door, and this is of course facing the river, South River. So if we come back around, it's just a double door on the front going in.
Now this part here will be wood.
All right, wood.
Here, the front part be wood. These is the runners where you drive one car.
These aren't as high as they will be.
No, this is not finished yet. Where you drive out on these 2 runners.
All right, so let's see. There'll be a runner here, right?
A runner through the other side.
All right, a runner being the cars will be able to drive on top of these.
On top of
from this direction, from over here, cars will drive up.
This way.
Okay.
drive out on these two,
Yep.
or the drive out on these two,
Yep.
or if you want to drive in the middle, and where you can open the doors wide open, you can just drive on these two.
All right. Yeah.
And that way, you know, but for parking, you can drive two. Now that it'll go another 6 foot that way when I backfill it and put some more concrete out there.
Okay, so you'll backfill, so cars will come in from this
Cars will
direction.
come in and stop.
And this will
right
just be like a front porch, this section here.
Yeah, this will
here.
You don't drive the car on the wood. You drive up to these, stop it, and then and these boards right here will be this way where you can take them out and work, you know, right here in the front end if you want to.
So all of this is going to be wood on the top. Just get you a picture. It'll be wood on the top that you can remove.
And these here will be 2x8s, solid pieces, 2x8. About $100 worth of lumber right here, where the bricks would have cost me over $200 with the cement and all in them.
Yeah.
So now I can duck and go from one car to the other if I wanted to.
Yep.
And
pretty slick, pretty slick. So you'll have boards on top of this where you can remove, and then you'll have a roof.
Yeah, there'll be a metal, like a carport roof.
Be a carport roof over the top.
Yeah, and it'll be open.
And you'll have a swing so you and Mama can sit out here and look at the river, right?
Yeah, watch the river.
Get some sugar.
Yeah, get some sugar in the afternoons when the mosquitoes are eating and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
For an old man, it's hard to get down, do brake jobs like we did on the Mustang. Get down right here. I can just put me 2 blocks, make me a little platform. I'll be right here at the wheel.
Yep.
If I want to do that, because this old man is too not limber enough to get down, up and down. So this way it's nice. I had one at the old house and just one car, but this one I made it 2 cars.
So I'm gonna go and ask the question before YouTube asks the question, because I know many of you are gonna say, come on, man, you got a whole 3-bay garage over there. Why wouldn't you just spend the money and put lights and everything in the shop over there instead of doing all of this? So what's your answer to that, old man?
Right here at home.
He's right at his house.
She's diabetic. I had to keep up with her, and that's you can see the old place across the swamp over yonder.
I got to keep up with my wife too, but Daddy wants to be close by. He doesn't want to be 200 yards away working on old cars. He wants to come over here to take care of my mama, which I'm grateful for. And so we're going to get this. We're going to get some electricity in here. We're going to get lights. So I guess the lights in the shop over there, I'll have to do 20 years from now. So we're going to go and start my granddaddy's car, a 1965 Ford Galaxie, and we're going to go do that right. All right, we just made that jump of about 200 yards just like that. Y'all didn't know Rev and the old man were magicians, but we just made the move. Here it is, 65 Ford Galaxie. This was my granddaddy's car originally. What was it, Daddy? Originally it was a 289 car. Now it is an Ord. It used to be a Ford, but the F fell off. Old hood's got a little play to it. Carburetor still moves. Yeah. Carburetor still moves.
My little cover probably didn't last long, did it? Been on there at least 10 years, I guess.
For sure. So here it's a 302. Of course, doesn't look like it's in all that great a condition. You probably noticed, we mentioned it before, the reason we hadn't already done a first start is because it didn't have a radiator, so we got to put a radiator in it. You want to try to turn it over a little, roll it over by hand, make sure it ain't stuck. I don't think it's stuck.
Well, it wasn't a year ago or so.
Oh,
Turn.
it ain't stuck, so.
And it does have a 289 water pump on it. Because when I put this 302 in, I didn't want to put a different radiator in it, so I took the water pump off the 289. The
289 comes out this
broke
side.
The crankshaft. You was with me. You was a kid when it broke.
Yeah.
We was coming back from Florida, made it all the way back to McDonough, and slow poke driver, and I went to hit passing gear in it and floorboarded it, and got right up beside him, and something went boom, 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 and I had to pull off the road.
Y'all do know what flowboarding it is, don't you? That's like putting the pedal to the metal.
Yep.
So he put it to the floor, and when he did, we had Lisa was with us, right?
Yeah, Lisa.
So it was me, my mom and dad, my Aunt Lisa, which is my mama's youngest sister, my brother and myself were coming back from Florida when it happened, I remember. Pulled over the fruit stand. No, yeah, I think it was
a little fruit stand off whatever highway that is.
155, ain't it?
Yeah, 155.
So, yep, so we did that. So then you went and purchased this 302 out of a truck in Decatur, right?
79 truck.
79 F100.
The motor was supposed
79.
to have been rebuilt.
Supposedly.
And the guy said he never could get no oil pressure on it. And when I took the distributor out, because this is a 289 distributor, when I took the distributor out, because that had an electronic ignition type distributor or something in it. Anyway, when I pulled it out, there was no ride going to the water pump, the pump.
So oil pump was not pumping because it wasn't going from the crank down, or wasn't going from the bottom of the...
No, it wouldn't come. It would the pump. Yeah, the little rod that connects to the bottom of the distributor
and the pump
goes to the pump.
Yeah,
he left it out when he rebuilt it. So I've only cranked it 2 or 3 times, and that was what, 30 years ago
at least.
And
so 30 years, hadn't been on the road, we know, in 30 years, hadn't been cranked in a long time. Carburetor still moves, the motor is not stuck, but we're gonna give her sort of a walk around, and then I think we're gonna first put the radiator on it, put a little water in it. Probably you got any... We get so much junk talk to us. There's like 80,000 people that have watched the Mustang first start. We know what radiator fluid is. We know what coolant is. But y'all, that was not coolant that's supposed to go in a Ford. The old man didn't realize that. It was yellow. It was oily. It looked just like oil. But it wasn't. Of course, we've taken our lumps. We have heard your plea. And we know it was concentrated, meaning that it was not diluted. We know those words. But we were a little discombobulated that day, but we got it all figured out. So we're going to kind of do a little walk around. Yep, Daddy has replaced when we drug the car from the new house to this house. You got new wheels and tires.
I took the motor out between them 2 trees down there on the side of the house before this shop was ever built. And then I moved it to the other house, and it stayed there for what, almost 20 years. And
when we say moved it, yeah, it
wouldn't hold air. So I took the tires off and found out they was rusted on the bottom. And so I had to buy a set of rims from a Mustang guy over there in Conyers, and I had to pay $20. So I cleaned them up good and painted them, put these tires on. That was
so the wheels have been painted since the car has run. Let me say that. So we're not, this ain't no frou-frou video. This is truth. So here's the car, all the trim, missing a little piece of trim there. Got a lot of rust. Here's the interior. Yep, she's still with us, but she's got some rust. She's got some rust in her, got a lot of work. Well, Daddy, look at all them wires back there. We were looking for a...
I don't know if there's a coil wire in there or not.
Well, we can make a coil wire.
In there, ain't it?
Yeah, we can make a coil wire out of it. Yep, got a little bit of rust here in the quarters. In the back, that trim has come off. Yep, she's in. I'm climbing the hill. It's rained a little bit around here. Can't get down to the tag. Come over to this side.
Tell them Daddy will get down to the tag.
Oh man, it's getting down there. When's the last tag? Oh man, there's you got an old hitch on it. Butts County 85. It'd been about 85.
Yeah, I think it is 85.
Hit it top right there, 86.
86.
1986 is the last time this car has been tagged.
You were 6 years old.
6 years old. Well, yeah, I would have had to have been 6 because your birthday is the same month as mine. So whenever you'd have put a tag on it. Here's the driver's side door.
I can't believe we didn't bust the window in the top when that tree hit
it. Yeah, when we dropped a tree on it not too long ago. It's got a little bit of There's some old wires. We can find a coil wire in there somewhere. I reckon we could.
Is that the big end? You gotta have a big end on it to fit the coil.
Yep. No coil wire there. No coil wire.
We got a Fairlane over here, got one.
There.
There's the coil.
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Nope, no coil wire there yet. Whew.
Should we take it out and put it in the Jeep over here?
I don't know. We'll have to go look at the Jeep in a minute. All right, y'all. So we got all these wires. Look at that old Pepsi can over here. Ugh. Old gaskets. Ooh, look at all the oil changes. Your granddaddy did that, didn't he?
I guess. I probably did it maybe once. Because I didn't drive it. My daddy told me it stayed in Decatur for about 5 or 6 years after he went.
1968 is when this one was done.
It was 65. So
That old oil change had been there that long.
I hope the same oil. Well, we know the same oil because it ain't the same motor. But it stayed in my daddy's parking lot in Decatur in his little driveway for at least 5 or 6 years. And he said, son, you can't drive it because it ain't got no muffler on it. I said, Daddy, I'll put a muffler on it. So he let me drive it. I drive it to McDonough. Let Moss Muffler put dual exhaust glass packs on it. And his yard in Decatur was up a little hill. And he heard me. He was bedridden because he had emphysema and heart problems. And he heard me come up the driveway. As soon as I come up, he said, I told you to put a muffler on it. I said, Daddy, I did. I put 2 glass packs. And he said, he just shook his head. He said, okay, you got a muffler on it. I guess you can take it home. So I took it home.
So his daddy gave him this car. All I had to do was put a muffler on it. My old man gave me old pudding, and all I've had to do is put like $7,800 worth. And I ain't put that much in it. But we put a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah, I put tires on it. Oh, used tires, and bought them rims at least 10 years ago. Said I was going to drive it, but never did.
All right, so those of you that are saying we talk too much, we're going to quit talking. And we're going to try to get this rascal running right now. I want to know what's in the trunk.
Hope it'll open. I find the keyhole. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Gotta set my hubcaps. Is it still in
Got
there?
a set of 3 hubcaps.
So there's the 4th one.
Oh, yeah.
Got all 4 of them. The breather, of course, the breather's rusted out.
Good Lord Almighty. That'll let more air in you. You got to turn that one upside down. Oh, B12. Old choke cleaner.
I don't know where that muffler come from, but it ain't got one like that on that no more. Yep. That's the original 65 Ford hubcap. Well, that's what was on it when Daddy bought it.
My Lord, something jump out. There's your old, look at there. You can check and see if your fluid's good. There you go.
I have had to pump up tires on the car with that thing.
Woo, woo.
You can fold that handle down.
Take a little while, wouldn't
Look at that. That thing still works. Look at that. Fold it down and slide it in. And
all right, old man. What's that?
that's an oil thing where you put oil in them or something. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
What is that, y'all?
I don't know. You put something in here and pump it. Oh, that's a mosquito getter. I don't know.
That's a wheeler tool right there.
I don't know what it is, but that is old timey, ain't it?
It's like wonder if it's a duster.
It might have been. Yep,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's probably what Daddy used on his tomatoes. Probably a duster.
It is.
Just
Yeah.
watch. It may not be coming out there, but let's see if we can get any dust. Yeah.
Put your lime or.
Yeah. Kill your tomato worms.
Yep.
Probably what that was. I ain't gonna guarantee, but that's probably what it was made for.
All right, there's a little history of what's in the trunk. So now let's get the radiator on and start rolling.
Won't be in our way.
Well, it ain't gonna be in the way.
You gotta hook that up for the transmission. Don't put fluid everywhere. Wait a minute.
Well,
It's gotta sit
All right, we've installed said radiator. Got everything hooked up so it has a radiator. Daddy's gone to get some fluid. We're gonna have to work on that. Clean that out a little bit so we know it can get some fire. Points look like they have been replaced, Daddy. Ooh, it's been run with those points. The points might be the newest thing on it. You can see it's been run a while with the points. But you are gonna put antifreeze in it?
We've got to, don't we?
Oh, I just didn't know. We don't know what antifreeze is. Was that water?
No, this is antifreeze. This is Prestone. This is green. See?
Yeah, that's what antifreeze looks like here, these Georgia boys. It don't look like that yellow stuff. I think that yellow stuff was for something else.
It wasn't yellow. It was brown. Looked like motor oil.
It sure enough did.
I got in trouble with people at church because I stuck my tongue to it and tasted it.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that one drop will kill you, Dennis. So,
what widow was put in her husband's food to kill him.
Oh, yeah, they were telling us all that. So,
all right, I gotta go to the house and get my other gallon antifreeze.
Yep.
And I gotta get some sandpaper to sand the points.
Yep. Points look new-ish. I mean, it's still gonna need to be sanded. They've been sitting forever.
Yeah.
But they look good.
You gotta sand that. I don't know that. I don't know if that's gonna fire through there or not. But if not, we got one in the 64, 289 in that one.
Yep. Yep.
We have to. Okay, so I got to go over and get the for give me the keys where I won't have to walk.
All right. Hey, don't squall tires. Let me get.
So you tricked me, and I'm gonna trick you. When you go out, you say, "Ooh, somebody been in Daddy's driveway."
Squalling tires. All right, y'all. I saw a thermostat over here somewhere. We were filling it up. I think the thermostat housing is leaking just a little bit somewhere. I don't know where it's leaking at, but somewhere. No, this ain't the radiator. Thermostat housing is leaking. I mean, when I say leaking, it's leaking. So we're gonna have a little bit of water in the motor, coolant, but we'll redrain it. Well, let's you still want to see if it'll crank? This is what we mean by firing. All we did is sanded the points there. Now we're gonna turn the motor over, and when we turn the motor over, you're gonna see it fire. Scared me to death. All right, it's fire. Hey, Daddy, Nikki T got mad at me yesterday. You know why?
No.
She was holding a lot of folded up laundry, and she fell. And when she fell, she asked me, she said, "You must not have saw that." I said, "I did. I saw it all unfold." Gonna hook up the coil wire, and then we're gonna see if this old baby will bark off. You think she'll crank, Daddy?
I don't know. It's been so long.
All right, you got the key on?
Nope.
We have checked the oil. Let me do that now. I can check the oil one-handed. Oh, that's about, what do you say?
She's 3/4. She may be a quart though.
Oh no, she's full. She's on the full mark. I was trying to see how many years that is. Come stick your tongue to it. All right, hold on. Don't you just turning the ignition on?
Yeah. You ready?
No, don't hit it yet. I ain't got your battery hooked up. We got all kind of stuff. We got to talk about it.
All right, well, don't put the spark. I don't want to burn the points up.
Well, I'm putting the battery on.
If you put the battery on, you got to be going.
Well, the ignition's off there. Until the starter. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the points has got fire now.
All right, y'all. How long has it been? It has been...
At least 10 years.
At least 10 years since it has been tried to crank. We know that it has been 30 years since it has been tagged. It maybe have been started since then. We have put gas in the carburetor. We know we have fire. We have fluid, a little bit of water in the engine. And you got the ignition on?
Right now, are you ready?
Yeah, I was just gonna crank it from in here. You gonna crank it from in there?
I'm all right.
You wanna crank it from in there?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right, the ignition on?
Ignition's on. I done poured a little bit of gas in it.
All right, so here we go. Hold your throttle now if it goes to barking off. All right, it's turning over good. Good God.
Look at the water boil out.
Yeah.
I know that tank of gas ain't gone, is it?
No, what in the world?
This over.
You turn the gas over.
Yep, I turned it over.
Wonder why it quit barking.
I don't know.
Did you get scared and kill it when you pulled it back too far?
I may have.
All right, y'all, one more time. Good Lord, what a Ford. Look at the water, keep going. Oh, you killed it. I think it needs a thermostat gasket.
Need something on it,
Look at that top gasket is completely gone.
It's balling out.
You ready one more time?
Yeah.
See if it'll crank. You flooding it. Look at it, there's a bubbling out. What in the world are we doing?
It ain't idling good. It ain't got no choke hookup or nothing on it.
Nope. Well,
the choke thing's gone, so even messing with this don't change the choke none.
Well, we ain't worried about the choke. It's flooding it. It's flooding out right now.
Well, you want to try it again?
Boy, you pulled it. Yeah, don't pull it so far. It's out of gas.
It's out of gas.
Out of gas. All right, y'all. So we know it'll start. We know it'll start. Can we make it idle, and can we make it run off of its own fuel? You got that old rubber hose where you tried to start it
from 20 years ago. I don't know. It's dried out, though, ain't it?
So we'll see if the fuel pump pumps. Since heck, it was a piece of cake. I mean, we took the top off, we filled it full of gas, we checked spark, we put a battery to it, we hit the thing, and that rascal cranks. This is a 65 Ford Galaxie with a 302. It has been sitting, we know this car has never been tagged since this motor has been in it. So we know the motor has been sitting and not driven on the road for at least,
I lived at the new house 32 years, so, well, you was about
well, let's just say 30 years.
So
at least 30 years. Y'all can talk junk on a Ford if you want to. This thing ain't been running forever, and we just got it cranked up in about 15 minutes. So we're going to see if we can make it idle in this video. How about you? Oh, that's Hank at Hamiltonville Farm. I'm sorry about that, Hank. I didn't mean to take your word, but we're going to see if we can make this rascal work.
My daddy's in heaven smiling. Granddaddy's in heaven smiling. The old car crank.
Amen. Oh, here at RevStoration, we use the best gaskets they make, but we use them antique ones. We don't want nobody, we don't want to use one no new one. I mean, them new gaskets just, I don't know what in the world people use new gaskets for. We want to use the original 1965 gasket. Look at that thing.
You're going to have them people talking about us again.
Yeah, that thing's as brittle. Good Lord. We're going to go on and take off this fuel pump. Can't get anything through it. Old man's running the camera, so if the screen goes black, you can just hit the back of the screen. It'll come on. It's called technology.
Yeah, he gave me a Christmas present for my Fairlane over here. I never had put it on, so now we're gonna put it on Daddy's 65 Ford.
Just see if we can get the fuel pump working. All right, everyone, our fuel pump was the bolt holes where the bolt went through on the new pump was different. So I don't know if 302 and 289 or if this pump here, actually, if these were drilled out, if this was actually drilled out and actually made bigger. But I thought they were 1/2 inch, they were 9/16, and the bolt would not go through the new fuel pump. So instead of worrying with that right now, we actually made this jig. Now see, what I did is we filled up the carburetor, and then we filled up this rubber line, this fuel line, with fuel, and made sure that gravity was feeding it into the carburetor. And it was. So now the line is filled really up to probably this point right here. So I'm hoping that gravity, actually when that pump goes down, that it will suck this fuel up enough and cause it to go in. We're going to see if it'll work and do some gravity feed. So I'm going to get the top of the carburetor back on, and after that we'll crank it up and see what we can do. All right, this is the best shot we got of seeing if it'll make it idle. Of course, we've got our fuel tank hooked up, gravity feeding it into the carburetor. We're going to see if the old man will crank it from the inside. What you think? All right.
I can't see with the gas because it'll be wide open.
Well, we got spring on it.
It will return.
Push the foot feed. Yeah.
It's returning.
Yep. Woo, it is carburetor leak and go. Turn it off, turn it off. Guess what's working?
The fuel pump.
Doggone fuel pump's pumping now. Why wouldn't you pump a while ago when I was telling you to pump? We was pumping. Look at all the gas it's pumping out of it.
All right, let's put the hose on it.
What you talking about?
Put that metal line on down.
Hold on, take that off. Take
No.
that off. Yeah, I want to see if mine will work.
No, I don't want to see if that
Come
works.
on, if
I wanna
mine.
get it right.
Let's do it one time and see if we can get. Hold on, let's take this off so it don't pump no more gas out. Get your gas tank off. We know yours works now. Look at it, it's just pumping out now. That rascal. I guess that old
Stuff lubricated
that valve enough.
that rubber diaphragm.
All right, here's let's see. There we are. See our line, y'all? All right, crank it up. Keep up. Keep no. Let's put. All right, mine's working. Smoking a little bit.
Listen to the glass packs. When I
Think you got a little bit of water. Hey, come here before you do that. Get out.
No.
I mean, you leaking water like crazy out of this
I know,
thing.
it's leaking.
Hey, but look at this. Look.
It's going down.
What? Hey, what's it doing?
It's going down. But
Oh, that old gravity worked.
But anyway,
Let me listen to the back. Y'all want to hear what these sound like from the back?
I want you to hear the glass packs on this thing.
You think they got holes in it?
No, they glass packs.
All right, y'all. I can't believe. Good Lord, can y'all believe what we're doing with this car? Come on, let's hear it. Yeah, crank it up. And it's gonna be muffled a little bit. Golly. That car sounds good, y'all. Did you cut it off?
I don't know if all that water's run out or not.
Run out on top of it.
Yeah, I think it may be low. So
Look. Worked, didn't it?
yeah, I don't see how.
It did. I mean, heck, it's drawed an inch worth of gas out of our gas tank.
Yeah.
And we know the fuel pump works now.
We got water boiling out of that
Yep.
housing, ain't it?
Good Lord, actually, it don't sound bad, does it? All right, y'all, we have,
At least 10 years of running.
how long?
At least 10 years.
At least 10 years since it's been cranked. I think it's been a lot longer than that.
I think it's been 30 years. I don't think I ever had it running that good before because I had carburetor problems when I quit working on it 30-something years ago.
Carburetor needs to be rebuilt. No doubt, the carburetor needs to be rebuilt. So I don't know if I'm going to take it off and take it home. We need a new distributor, or at least a new vacuum advance set up for the distributor. But doggone, it sounded good. I mean, it was smoking a little bit, but I mean, heck, if I hadn't walked in if I hadn't really got up and walked in 30 years, I'd probably be smoking a little bit too, wouldn't you reckon?
Yeah.
So I think the float on the carburetor is stuck open because it is actually draining gas, or the carburetor needs to be rebuilt. Look at here, y'all, you see this? All that is where it is flooding the engine right now. Go actually try to crank it up. Hit it one more time. Just crank it up and see. Let me see if I can get it to idle. One more time, y'all. I want to hear this old rascal idle. Don't hit the foot feed. Oh, that's as far as I got. Don't hit the foot feed. Well, you may need to.
Crank it.
Yeah, go. Maybe flooded.
Ready?
Yeah. Idling.
Needs a little bit more.
Well, I ain't got
The choke needs to be
closed.
close the choke a little bit. You ready?
Yep.
Open it.
Get out. All right, y'all, we got it to idle. There's a lot more needs than that.
You ain't getting enough gas cycling through there.
Carburetor needs to be rebuilt. All right, y'all, man, y'all don't know how much fun I have had today. This is my granddaddy's car he bought. My daddy got it from my granddaddy. We drove it a bunch. Hadn't been driven in at least, we know, since 86. So however long 86 years ago is, 30,
and 20,
34
years.
34 years ago since this car's been on the road. We know it's not been driven with this motor, and we got it running today. Was really minimal effort. And we got the fuel pump working. Y'all want to see more of this 65 Galaxie?
I do.
Old Man does. Hey, y'all, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all so very much for watching. If you like this type of content, go give me a sub. I'm almost 8,600 subscribers, and we're honored for all 86. We appreciate y'all for watching. If you're not sub, please sub. If you are sub, give it a thumbs up. Give me a contact. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what's going on in your life. We just got over COVID. I did, me and Nikki T. So we hope to have a lot more videos coming out soon. We love y'all. We appreciate you. We know no way of closing out any of these videos than saying deuces. May God bless.